me sitting here. I've been through abusive relationships. I have thought about doing some things to my ex-husband that probably would have winded me in here.
Change is crucial if these women are ever going to make it in the free world.
People down us because we're prostitutes and drug addicts. A lot of society does. They think we can't change.
I don't want to go back out there and use, but I know once I hit the streets, I know what I'm capable of doing. I need that treatment in my life. I need that help. I need that extra push.
MCIW tries to prepare them for life beyond the walls with intense drug rehab, high school and college courses, and critical job training.
I believe that everybody should be punished for the crime they committed, but we try our best to prepare them to re-enter society and not make the same mistakes that they have made to get here in the first place.
And the programs seem to be working. The inmates who participate cut their chances of reoffending by almost half. The prison sew shop offers some of the best training. The women learn marketable skills, and daily pay here goes up to $3.50. Behind bars, that's a big paycheck, and it's considered a privilege to work here. Lifer and convicted murderer Paris Pratt is one of 85 women who have landed a job here, making uniforms and flags for the state. The work keeps Paris busy and keeps her mind off being locked up. But the distraction only goes so far.
It's like I'm really going through something within myself. Wake up, you're around the same people, doing the same dumb stuff. You work, you slave for a little bit of money, eat the same stuff that's disgusting. It's like really you had nothing to look forward to.
Etta Myers also helps Paris get through the days. The two women work together in the sew shop. Etta is a fellow lifer and one of the few inmates she trusts.
Etta has been here for 32 years. I used to think she got to be crazy to be still sane after 32 years, you know.
Paris.
But I guess as time goes along and I learn how to cope with things and deal with things differently, maybe I can be like her one day.
Etta was convicted of killing a man during an attempted robbery in his home.
I got locked up in 1977 for murder in the first degree with a handgun. Before I came to jail, I was married. I was a drug addict.
Like Paris, she came to the prison in her early 20s, and at first, didn't think she would make it.
There was nobody that I could trust in jail, so it was easier for me to stay by myself than to mingle with somebody who I didn't know anything about. I was very uneducated, very fragile, very empty inside, very frightened, very, very afraid.
Oh, okay, I'll wake up because...
I met Paris about a year ago. She had just come into prison with a life sentence. They wanted her to know that there were people here who actually had been here for a long period of time and had fared just well. Her first question was, how long have you been here? And oh my God, you look so good. And I'm like, I don't know what good is, but thanks.
Etta knows that Paris is on edge.
I hate this.
I don't think that it has hit her. Reality has really not set in. For most of us who serve a long sentence, it takes a couple years before it actually settles in, before you're able to accept it. For the people that don't accept it, it's going to be really hard because life is hard in jail. They can get caught up in the madness and the negativity, and that'll only allow them to go to mental health and on lock.
Etta hopes Paris can handle life behind bars without succumbing to madness or violence. She watches Paris closely, especially in the prison sew shop, where the edgy young inmate handles sharp tools. She doesn't want to see Paris or anyone else get hurt. All items must be carefully tracked.
We do an inventory of all the tools, so when something turns up missing, all doors are locked, we'll put on lockdown until that particular tool is found.
And at the start and close of each shift, officers give everyone a thorough pat-down.
So anytime you come in and out, you're definitely searched.
Scissors, screwdrivers, even needles. In the hands of an angry inmate, they could easily become lethal weapons. It's almost 11:30, lunchtime, and a large crowd is gathering in the chow hall. With so many inmates in one place, a lot can go wrong in just seconds. Inmate Christy Seal has been working hard to stay out of trouble and to make parole. But today in the chow hall, an ordinary lunch with her girlfriend goes wrong.
Mind your business, stay out my business. It's not that hard, you know what I'm saying?
An argument breaks out between the two of them, and suddenly, the girlfriend grabs Christy by the throat.
Mind your business.
Officers quickly stop the fight, and both women are taken into segregation immediately.
I'm just trying to tell you, you shouldn't have to lock me up. I didn't do nothing. I didn't put my hands on nobody. So why they got handcuffs when nobody's trying to explain nothing to me?
Now, Christy is in seg, despite her efforts to keep her record clean. And she fears that her chances of making parole and reuniting with her family are slipping away fast. Thursday morning at Maryland Correctional Institution for Women. Here, behind the mesh of razor wire, 900 of the state's worst female offenders are forced to live together. At any given time, about 20 of these inmates are pregnant. Among them is convicted burglar and drug addict Jill Newland, who is expecting twins. 3 weeks remain until her delivery date. Every week, Jill undergoes a routine checkup. Her weight, blood pressure, and the baby's heartbeat, along with the size of the uterus. But today's exam brings some scary news. As is often the case with twins, the babies are ready to come out weeks ahead of schedule. Jill must head to the local hospital immediately.
The anxiety started building up with the fact of knowing that it was coming to an end, and reality set in a little, and it's just a scary situation.
But even now, security cannot be compromised. 2 officers are required to transport her, and she must wait for clearance at all checkpoints. Pregnant or not, she's still treated as a dangerous felon.
I'm embarrassed and I'm upset that I put myself in the situation to have to go there pregnant and handcuffed. It just seems like it's surreal. It's like everything's just happening, and I feel sometimes like, what's going on? Is this real?
The hospital is only 15 miles away, but it's a long drive for Jill. She doesn't know what this early delivery might mean for the unborn twins. Inside the prison gates, the grounds are unusually quiet. A prisoner is coming out of segregation, and Captain Hannah has cleared the entire area. All outdoor movement stops whenever an offender leaves her segregation cell. An officer escort always stays close by her side. It's all about keeping the inmates safe from attack.
There's not supposed to be any inmates on the grounds. When the seg gets moved, it's our responsibility to protect that inmate because they are handcuffed. So if something happens, they cannot defend themselves. If they're fighting somebody and that person has friends out in general population, then they could be a possible enemy.
The extra security also protects the staff from getting hurt. Officers know they can never let their guard down when dealing with convicted criminals. Captain Hannah learned this the hard way. As a young officer, she survived a vicious inmate attack. It took months for her to recover.
I had been on the job approximately 4 months, and I was attacked by an inmate, maximum security prison. Segregation inmate ran down the TIG, jumped me from behind, and he stabbed me. The shoulder, the back, the side of the face. I was stabbed 5 times. At first, I didn't even know that I was being stabbed because it just felt like punches. I came back to work because I knew the risks involved when I took the job. You could lose your life in prison.
Lieutenant Parker to all OICs, 1021 shift.
Captain Hanna to all units, resume your movement, resume your movement.
The attack is a constant reminder of how dangerous her job can be, especially when handling the volatile inmates housed in segregation. Also known as lock, the 48 cells in SEG are reserved for the prisoners who break the rules. In lock, inmates are confined to their cells nearly every hour of every day, with only 2 showers a week. Inmates say it's dark and loud and frightening. For the prison, it's the ultimate discipline. For inmates, there's nothing worse. It can stay with them long after they get out.
I used to be terrible at one point. I made a change in my life not to go back over there because it's not worth going over there.
And now that's really how you lose your mind. You get absolutely nothing. So you're sitting in this little cell, and I mean, people scream out the windows all night and sing. I mean, they do anything that they possibly can to keep their mind off of what they're going through.
Man, lock is horrible. You never come out your cell. You got all this time to sit in there and just look at walls and think and talk to yourself. I mean, who wants to be over there and be miserable like that? I know I don't. I'm in school. I'm trying to do what I need to do to get out of here. I'm not trying to make my time stop by going in the lock. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, you don't want to go over there.
Christy Seal has just come out of lock after fighting in the cafeteria with her inmate girlfriend.
My girlfriend is a liar. I'm finding out a lot of things that she's doing, being sneaky, being phony with stuff. I found out she was telling somebody that I need her. I don't need you, miss. Are you crazy? And we got into it in the cafeteria, and we got into a heated argument, and she choked me.
This was Christy's first trip back to SEG in months. Luckily, she was cleared of all charges this time. The prison ruled the instigator was Christy's girlfriend, who remains in lock.
She's always putting her hands on me. There's a scratch mark on my neck where it's healing up right there. She did that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly smacking her back because I'm not going to just keep allowing you to put your hands on me and think I'm not going to smack you back.
Hearing about the fight with her girlfriend, Captain Hanna brings Christy in for a talk after she is released from SEG.
So what do you plan to do now?
I'm going to try to stay away from her. And I did say try.
We do not condone these relationships, but we know they do happen. And it doesn't work out. There are fights. The women may do certain things or act certain ways towards other inmates just to make this particular one jealous, and it creates a lot of problems.
My anger took over because I couldn't. It felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like everybody was ganging up on me.
Mm-hmm. You have to be able to handle your anger issues. What do you have planned for when you leave here? If you don't have a plan, you're going to be back here. What about your education, college degree? Do you have your high school diploma?
I can't get it.
Well, why?
Because I ain't smart enough yet.
Yes, you are. Don't say that. I mean, I waited till I was an old lady before I got my bachelor's degree, but I did it. Issues come about.
Hanna reminds Christy that she needs to stay focused on getting out and staying out of prison.
That I want you to focus on. You're going to be okay. I just want you to focus on you.
Yeah.
You getting better. You healing emotionally. Because when you leave, and you will be leaving, I want you to stay gone.
I do too.
Yeah, because I'm tired of seeing you in here.
I'm tired of seeing myself in here. I'm tired of seeing myself in here.
Christy is going to work hard to avoid any more trouble. But while Christy is now out of SEG, 25-year-old murderer Paris Pratt has landed there for the very first time. She's been accused of spitting on another inmate, which is a serious offense here. Major Carrington is a 21-year veteran of